Lights, cameras, action. Now let's engage in the dialogue. Let me browse through your mind like a catalog. Conscious metaphysics, allow me to break down the specifics. Educate, motivate. If you don't feel free, you can liberate. An LLC is what I'm building, the #1 podcast in the building. So let me slide on up in the Bentley truck in my Versace shirts. They can't get enough of this deep conversation, expansion, elevation. I'll send you a link you can tap in. It ain't quite what I used to do back then. Now I get it on the front and the back end. Multiple money streams keep coming in. Enlightened, empower, evolve. Enlightened, empower, evolve. Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I know everybody's doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again because you know I love engaging in amazing dialogues with people from around the world, and today is no exception. I have an amazing guest today. I'm very excited. She is a Haitian American poet, author, motivational speaker, anti-suicide model, actress, and a lot more. Queen Liberatti, welcome. Yes, how are you
so
doing?
Much.
How you doing today,
I'm
Queen?
fine. Thank you so much.
Wow. That is a very powerful name. Anytime you start your name with a queen or a king, you know it's going to be fire. So I can't wait to hear what you got to tell us today. Let's just get right into it. So you were born in Haiti, huh?
Well, I was born upstate New York.
Both
of my parents, though, are Haitian. They're from Haiti, but okay. I rep Haiti hard because both my parents are from there, and I'm always rooting for the underdog. So whether I was born there or not, I rep them like I was, because at the end of the day, my mother's blood is Haitian, my father's blood is Haitian, so I'm gonna rep that regardless.
Right. I love and Span, we were talking about hip hop prior to this segment. So when you say Haiti, you got to mention the Fugees. You got to mention White Cliff John. So we already know.
Come on here now.
Yes.
We can't not mention them.
Yes. Love. Yeah. Oh man. Love the Fugees. Mm-hmm. So let's get into it. You're an author. Okay, so can you elaborate a bit on that? The name of your book, how you became an author. I mean, what inspired you to write your book? Or, I mean, let us in a little bit on it.
All right, thank you so much. So I wrote the book because I always wanted to write the book. The name of my book, first of all, everyone, is Give It 100, My Weight Loss Journey in 100 Words. And the reason I wrote it was because my sister, who suffers with intermixed muscle, mixed tissue disease, rheumatoid, lupus. It's an autoimmune disease. And they gave her a prognosis of 5 years, I believe, to live. Like, it's not a diagnosis. The prognosis is final, so they tell you that's how much time you got left. So here she was diagnosed with given a prognosis, yet a principal who was out here teaching others how to principal. She wrote a book for Black men, The Exceptional Project. And I'm sitting here watching her going through all of these personal dilemmas, and yet still able to fulfill a dream and still be impactful and purposeful. So I'm like, why would I not write a book? I have to write a book. If my sister could be going through duress and still functioning and fighting to live, you better go ahead and do that. And my children, I have 5 of them. I wanted them, that's the why of the book too, to know that no matter what, you can have something that you see in your mind be a tangible fruit of just an idea. So I wanted them to know that they can do anything that they put their mind to, whether it fail or flop, get it out of your mind and hold it in your hand.
Amazing. I love that you say that, because that's one of the principles that I stand on, which is the mind and how powerful the mind is, and and thinking it first and before it appears. Because even if we look at, like, we break it down as simply as this: everything that you see around you, okay, I'm talking about the clothes on you, the furniture you're sitting on, the camera you're looking in, it started in somebody's mind. So
Exactly.
that right there tells you that anything that you can conceive up here, um, it it can manifest. It is going to.
It can manifest.
Yeah, and I don't even want to say it could. I say it will, especially
It will.
if that's where you place your focus and your power and your, and I used to say belief a lot, but I say knowing, just knowing, like, especially, this is how I put it. If what you are coming up with, especially, is not hurting or infringing on anybody else, then there's no reason why you can't manifest that and make that happen. So, and we all have, I say,
powerful
God talent, God genius in us. So we were created to be creators. So that's amazing. Yeah, and that's amazing.
I totally agree.
That's amazing that you are instilling that in your children, your seeds, because that is amazing to bring them up like that with no limitations. Because a lot of us, especially from my generation, we, and it's not a bad thing, because every generation, I think, should be reaching a higher level, but we had ceilings a lot, a lot of ceilings, like, okay, you better do this because you only going to be able to do this and do that.
Exactly.
But then the people that I ran into later on in life, that I see them flourishing materially, at least a lot more than me, I ask them questions, and they had upbringing where they were being, it was being instilled in them that they could do anything, and they were being instilled, hey, you could own this, you could do this, instead of just, you got to work for this person, you got to just do this, go down this path,
exactly,
and you only going to be here and be a worker. No.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah, you can own, and especially if you go ahead, Queen.
No, I'm like, we're in total agreement and in total alignment, because despite of where I may be at in life, because again, a lot of times we go through things in life that combat the ideas and the limitations that we took off of ourselves. Because see, I removed them because I've come from limitations. I've come from, you can only amount to this. I've come from, you know what I mean? We're from that era, because again, for the fear of, we're melanated too. There's a lot going on with us. We're not just, there's so many different things as to why we were limited. The very reason why I tell my kids, no matter what, and a lot of times it's really difficult, because sometimes it becomes like you're being harsh on your kids, because you're telling them they're greater than their circumstances. You're telling them they're greater than the go through. You're telling them that they're here for more. And, when there is that ceiling, because that ceiling is something that's ancestral, I believe. It's from the past.
Right.
So it's like we're breaking generational curses. We're trying to break the cycle of what it's supposed to be for us as Black people, as women that are by themselves taking care of children. So there's so many different X's against us that I try to tell them, like, we don't live in those boxes. I don't live in the label. I don't care. I could be at the bottom to you, but I know what I'm working with on the inside. And so to you, I'm at the bottom, but I know inside what I'm working with. So you sleep on me at the bottom, but I'm working from the top in my mind.
There you go. And that's how you got to see it too. And
you see what I'm saying?
And not to sound selfish too, but you have to live that and be that and personify that, no matter what people see you as or see whatever circumstances, I see beyond that. So I'm way beyond what you just see in this box or where you're trying to put me. So I love hearing that. That's very empowering to hear from that. So the title of your book again is what?
Give It 100. My weight loss journey in 100 words. Yes.
And you can find that where?
On Amazon.com and Kindle. You can get it online right now. It's going for $5.43.
So I can just go to Amazon and look up Queen Liberatti.
Well, you'll look up under Shirley Touzin.
Okay.
Because I wrote it under my real name.
Okay, Shirley. How you spell that, Touzin?
Touzin. It's a French name. Everybody confuses it with Toussaint because of
Okay.
Louverture, but
Okay.
I would have been grateful for that as well. But I'm grateful for Touzin, and
Okay.
it's with a Z-I-N.
I will make sure I include that link as well in the description of this video so
I
people can
truly
just click
appreciate that, King.
get
And is
right
that
to your
okay that
book.
I call you King? Because that's how I celebrate men.
Yes, yes, yes. Because I'm gonna call you Queen. Unless you want me to add the Liberati at the end when I close out, I'll say your whole name. But right now, Queen.
I
So
receive it.
yes, yes, yes. So let's keep going. And we in common we have five. I have 5 children as well, so we have that in common. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome.
yeah, yeah. But I love the way and don't. I'm not saying that you will, but I have to say this. Continue to speak those empowering words because you already know. I can already tell just by the energy that I'm receiving from you. You know that words have power. So continue to speak empowerment into your children. Empowerment no matter what, and teach them no matter what the circumstances are. Your mind, your subconscious mind, your imagination exceeds all that. It's connected to
Amen.
God. This is God up here, and you cannot stop that. So continue to empower them, and it
And I
will,
received that.
yeah,
I
it
received
will
that.
pay
Thank
off.
you.
Yeah. And we've
Because
seen
you
it.
know it's not easy.
We've seen it throughout history, even with some of our people that we admire. They come from real bad, real poor beginnings, but one thing they had is this up here, and they kept moving forward. Next thing you know, they rose up there. Yeah,
Believe it.
yeah, yeah.
And I keep pushing for that. And a lot of times I don't know how men feel as fathers because we do have that in common, having 5 children.
Right,
I don't know how men feel, but I know it's really difficult for a woman, from a woman's perspective,
right,
when I'm a divorced woman,
right,
so everything basically is me.
right,
So a lot of times I feel like even doing this today, I
right.
don't feel worthy, but I know I am worthy.
You
But
are.
the feelings, we got to combat the feelings.
You
I
got to
know I'm
combat those.
worthy,
Yeah,
but the feelings I have to fight through because when it comes down to your children, these are the people that we've created. That's a
right,
whole different brand of people. They're people that I'm here in impact. I will always do my job as being an impactful person. But
right,
the hardest thing in the world, though, is when you've created people. You've created them. So there's something about being the creator of them
right,
that makes you see them in a different light. Like I see them in such a different light that sometimes I feel bad because it's like almost like because of how great I see them,
right,
it's almost like I'm hurting them because of how great I see them. Because a lot of
right,
times my angst and my anger comes from how great I see. So when
right,
I'm like,
right.
what this don't even look like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like trying to, I guess, balance out, what you see in the future for them and their growing pains, and we're all going. I'm going to my own growing pains, and they're going through
Right,
their own
right.
growing pains.
That's
So it's
that's what
never
we are.
really easy.
Yeah, but I want you to embrace this title here because I've come to embrace this too, and you'll see when I say it. But embrace that I am uh, a masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously.
Woo!
That means you perfect, but at the same time you still a work in progress. So that sums it all up. That sums it all up because
That
your life is going exactly how it's supposed to go right now to develop the things and the characters and the strength and the whatever, the appreciation, the wealth in all aspects of your life that it's supposed to. It's not, and it does get difficult to not watch other people and what's going on with them, but no, your life, you're perfect. You're
wow,
perfect. Yeah,
I'm fighting back tears. I want you
yeah.
to know I'm
So
fighting back tears because
so
it
please remember
resonates so
that because
deeply,
that
King.
empowers me too. I use that a lot. I'll even write it in like back in the days when the teacher used to make you write lines over and over. I'll even write that. I am a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. I am a masterpiece and a work in progress.
Working progress at the same time. I am a
Yeah, her
masterpiece
piece
and a
and a
working
work in
progress
progress at the
at
same
the
time.
same time.
Time.
You've solidified
That's it.
everything, because that right there, King, is that very piece of information that I've really been missing, because that's the fight every day, because you're gifted, but you're going through. You're
Right.
gifted, but you got to go through all of the muck and the mire of life, and its journey is arduous at times, and it's not an easy task to be
No,
great. People
it's
think you
not.
just wake up and you just
It's not.
no. I have stuff that I can't even mention, but I still got to cam up at 7 or 8 o'clock to do this.
See, I mentioned from even the historical standpoint, some of our well-known greats like Malcolm X. Okay, so before he died, we know him as this powerful speaker, right? But he used to be a drug dealer, a pimp. He used to be a womanizer. He was in jail. So just imagine what he went through in his life. He went through all kinds of stuff, but all that shaped him into the diamond he became. You know, Martin Luther King, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff he used to go through. He was in jail a few times for things. Maya Angelou, she was a prostitute. See, a lot of people, and we don't know her for that. So imagine what kind of stuff went on in her head, knowing that she was living that kind of life. But then she morphed into this beautiful butterfly with these so powerful, prolific words that inspire everyone. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. They were perfect, but a work in progress still. And I pride myself on that when I try to be as transparent as possible in regards to when I say that I'm a motivational speaker, to let people know that, hey, I inspire you through the things that I go through still, that I still go through, that I learn from watching other people go through things. I haven't just made it to this epiphany and I'm looking down saying, oh, let me motivate you. No, I'm motivating you through my trials and tribulations, through my adversities. So, and it's still
That's
happening.
what I believe.
Right.
I always say that I inspire myself to inspire. Like I'm inspired by myself. Like when I see progress in my life, like I've lost 102 pounds, and it took me a long time. And it's been a lot of hiccups, a lot of plateauing, a lot of falling, a lot of this, a lot of that. People laughing, people watching you go up and down, and you plateauing, and you did lose weight, but then you ballooned right back up, and it's like a big joke to others.
That's me.
But the tenacity and the grit to keep going, and I
keep
still
doing it.
Got to 102 pounds with no drugs and no surgery and none of that. To God be the glory, of course, but it wasn't without error, trial and error, you know. And what you're giving me right now is such an amazing tool to add to my tool bag, because I have been suffering with the calling and the fact that real life is adjacent to this beautiful gift is life, and all of this fixings and all of the murky things, the muddy water. You know what I mean? It's one thing that people don't get that part, and it's hard sometimes to cam up, knowing, oh, I gotta go through this right quick, but then I still gotta cam up, because that's not. I don't have a choice in that. I've been given something, and it's not mine to play with. This is a superpower. It's not ours to play with. You don't cam up with me for nothing. You know what I mean? And people don't get that. You're a superhero in your own way. But there's a lot of stuff going on that would make you feel like I'm really Clark Kenting it right now. I'm not no Superman. I'm a Clark Kent, bro.
No, it's true though. And I like the way that you are articulating that and using those metaphors with the Clark Kent and all that, because I use that too. Like today, I'm Clark Kent. Tomorrow, you know, I'm trying to let me build up my energy so I can be Superman. And every day I'm not Superman, and I admit that. But there's another thing I would like to say to you too. That I learned this from this author. It's a guy from England. A white guy. His name is Napoleon Hill. Okay, but he says some things that really resonate with me. Okay, and he says, when adversity comes, I don't know exactly how he says it, but he says, when adversity comes or appears, it always brings with it a seed of equal benefit. So that means anything that you're going through, it's always going to be a benefit. Just You may not see it at first, but just know it. And as long as you start to think along those lines, that hey, bring it on. Oh, okay, this is something beneficial is going to come out of this.
All
That's the
things
way
work
I've
together.
geared my mind. So now I see it almost every time. Now, so that's what he said. Whenever adversity comes, it always brings with it the seed of equal benefit, because what he said is the universe, the way life is, the way nature is balanced. So you're not going to just get all this without getting this too. You know what I mean? So it's just that a lot of times when we see that adversity, we so deep into it and just focusing on that, we're not even expecting the good stuff. So just know that, okay, this bad is happening, but where's that door that's opening up around here? Because it is.
Exactly.
I
received that too.
Yeah, it always happens in life. Think about it. When people die, isn't there other people being born too at the same time?
At the same time.
Same time. When it's nighttime here, it's light somewhere else. Daytime somewhere else. It just the universe goes like that, you know? Yeah. So it is
balance.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of trauma, but there's also a lot of healing. But which one do you want to focus on? So I'm trying to focus on my healing. And I even have a t-shirt that I'm selling on my website now. It says, I focus on solutions, not problems. And that right there, even for me to read that, it almost feels like that I'm a different person, because I used to be just the opposite, always focusing on the problems. And it seems like now when I look in hindsight that I intensified it, because that whatever you focus on, to me, grows. Whatever you put your energy towards, that's what grows bigger. So now I try not to take, not saying don't pay attention to when things come, but what I learn now is try to see what kind of, what let me try to calm myself. I know it's hard, but let me try to calm myself in this adversity that's going on right now, and see where the seeds are coming, of wisdom and knowledge is coming from. What can I learn from that? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's amazing. That so also, I saw on here you're anti-suicide model. Now, can you elaborate just a little bit on that?
Anti-suicide. So I also go by suicide's rival. At 18 years old, I try to hang myself in the closet, but I don't know who you serve. I'm not here to, it's not about who you serve or who you don't. But for me, I serve God, Christ.
God. Yes, right.
And at that day, for me, and that's the main reason why I'm still serving him, because it's been really, it's been sketchy these couple of years. I'm like, is you really not? But because of what has occurred in my life, that memory is my testimony. You know how the Bible talks about you overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. Right. So I remember at 18 years old, when I was going to hang myself with a belt, I heard him like, me and you were speaking. We had a dialogue, because I was about that, because ideations come, but sometimes it's just an ideation and you move on. And the people that have gone on, that's because the ideation and the act connected. So at that time, when I was 18 in 1996, the ideation, the thought, and the act were about to connect. And like literally, if it would have been like 25 to 26 years of me not being here if I didn't hear from God. So I'm suicide's rival because of that, because I'm here to lift up people. I've helped so many other people, and not to be arrogant, cocky, or put it on me like I'm some
tell us.
Whatever.
Please share.
But because I didn't off myself, and to be harsh and tactless, but because I didn't kill myself, God has opened up my eyes to see anyone who's in duress. Like, I want to know what the person is thinking. I'm not judging nobody.
You can recognize that. You can relate to that, and you can help pull people out of that dark place.
Exactly.
Yeah, and God working through you to do that. That's amazing.
Exactly.
Right. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
You're also, and I'm not trying to quickly go past. I just want to cover as much as I can with you, because it's so much amazing. You got so much amazingness within you that I want to touch a little bit on everything. You're also a poet as well. Can you give us a little backdrop on that and the type of poetry you do, or is it just whatever you inspired?
Oh man, poetry to me is life. Poetry to me is really another savior. Like I'm not trying to idolize it or put it before God, but I know
Right.
God gave that tool to me, and it
Right.
is a savior for me because I've been writing since I was a little girl, and a lot of times when I'm trying to hold back my tears, but
No.
poetry saved my life. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
Like I've been writing since I was a little girl, and that's how I say. I always tell people because when I was in church, I was the Poetic Crusaders president, and I told my people, I said, "That's how I cry. I cry with my pen. I smile with my pen because I used to not talk a lot. You know what I mean? I used to hold everything in, so I used to find the pen and paper. Like, all right, y'all don't want to say nothing. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't see me. Okay." And then I
Wow.
realized, oh, that makes sense. I got bars, so I
Right.
sound good. Like, okay, let's go. So it's like a savior to me. It's like when I want to say stuff that I can't say to a human being, I have poetic license to make you hear me. Because when you have that gift from God to articulate yourself, the very thing that I would tell you that might break you, just me and you having a dialogue, when I pen it and I articulate it and I make it sound a certain way, it gives me more room to express and more room for you to hear me without taking offense. Because
Right.
I'm a raw person. I'm cut. What you call that when they say you're rough around the edges? I'm just honest, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm
Right.
brutally honest because
Right.
I'd rather you deal with me in a moment, be like, "What you talking about?" than
Right.
pretentiousness and
Get the
me
real
pretending
you.
in your face,
Get
and
the
you don't know
authentic you.
nothing that I feel about you.
Right. There you go.
So poetry is a life-saving gift for me. Like I love it with all every fiber of my being.
Yes, I'm gonna have to, and not to take the spotlight off you, but I'm gonna share a few links with you when we get off
Definitely.
of here because I have a few songs that I've wrote. I do a lot of music, but that I can relate to that. I resonate with that because that to me, when I don't know how to express myself, like you say, verbally, when I put that pen on that paper and I'm by myself and and I'm just vibing, then that helps me to purge myself. It helps, it's liberating, it's therapeutic for me to sit down and write and create something, and I know,
Definitely.
like you said too, it's God speaking to me because a lot of times I'll write something and then I kind of come out of I don't want to say trance
What?
because I'll snap out of it like, man, how did I write this?
Isn't it something?
Yeah, and then I say that had to be God to get that out. And I didn't know how to get it out, but he helped me get it out.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's like he puts the spotlight, it's like he puts a flashlight inside of you
Get
and he's
everything.
like doing this and he's like showing you where the words
Yeah.
are at, showing you,
There
and
you
it's like
go.
that
Yep.
impressive to me. I can't never even take the glory sometimes. You can't even sit there and try to be dope on your own merit because
Right.
like I remember when I was like 18, I was living in a shelter and I wrote something and I used a word I never used before, but I
Right.
used that word with confidence with every fiber of my being. So when I was
Right.
done, I was like, I never heard this word before. I Googled it or, searched it or whatever, the dictionary,
Right.
and it meant exactly what I said it meant.
Yeah.
And so I was just flabbergasted because it's like to have ears to hear for real
Right.
from God. Like I could hear you talking to me for real. Like you really utilizing me as a vehicle to pen something
Right.
amazing. And I could even look back at my own words. You can look back at your own music sometimes and be flabbergasted and get healing. I got healing from my own book the
From
other day. I
yourself.
was
Right.
bugging out. I couldn't believe.
Right.
I was like, I knew I wrote the book, but I didn't know I wrote that. I knew I was writing it in a moment, but when I read it again a couple of weeks ago, I started pouring out tears because it was so therapeutic to me. I was like, wait a minute. It was so
Sometimes you do got to stand back from the stuff that you've written, stand back for a minute and then try to come like a whole new person, looking at your own stuff. And sometimes I'll listen to my
exactly
stuff like a year later and I'll be like, man, what was I thinking right then? I wrote that. Wow. Crazy.
amazing.
Yes. Yes. That's amazing. So yes, we got about 2 more minutes left. And before we get out of here,
You
I
said
wanted
two more?
Yeah, we got about 2 more minutes left.
Okay.
Yep. So I wanted to know before we conclude this, how can people find you? You got a website, Instagram, whatever. If you want to share any links right here, but no matter what, I'm still going to put them in the description of the video.
Definitely. So everybody can find me on Instagram as Queen Liberatti. I'm also on YouTube as Queen Liberatti. Basically, I'm trying to grow all my platforms. My platform that I work from the most is Instagram, but you can go on YouTube and look for me under Suicides Rival / Queen Liberatti as well. I'm on TikTok as well, Queen Liberatti. My book is on Amazon, Shirley Touzin. Give it 100, My Weight Loss Journey in 100 words. I'm here for poetry. I can write anything you want me to write. You want to break up with him, you don't know what to say, here I go. You want to say something you don't know how to articulate, you want to ask her to marry you, but you don't have the words, hit me up, I got you. You want something for your mom, a sister who want transition and be on the other side, I got you. So I'm here for it all.
Wow, amazing. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you coming on today. I forgot to say that I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets, and I appreciate you so much for spending some of your time in the history of your life here with me. You know, time that you'll never get back, and I just appreciate you so much. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Enlightened, Empowered, Evolve. Hit that like, that subscribe button, get that book.
Get that book.
Yeah, get her book, and it'll be in the
Instagram
description. Yeah, of this video. Get it. Look at the Enlightened, Empowered, Evolve website. Go to that too. That's 333empower.com. See you soon. Love and appreciation.